Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. So happy to see you all. Hello, Luxie. How are you doing, my dear? I hope you're doing well this morning. Slash, I guess afternoon at this point for me, probably evening for you. um, but yeah, I hope everybody's doing great. I'm sorry about the later start than usual. I needed to ensure that there was time for me to get a burger after it opened. And so uh, I had to nom that and watch a terrible movie. So, but I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm ready to be a little gobbo on a boat. um, hello, Alistair Nia. How are you doing? I hope you're doing quite well. Let's type a quick message to Pin. Most things today will be voted on by chat. So when vote opportunities happen, be sure to vote to decide what we do. Let's go. 30 minutes is the longest I can do, apparently. Okay. Hello, Master Burb. How goes you? You're here for some definitions of here. Oop, I got to adjust the sound on that one. There we go. It's something weird about my OBS that sometimes the sound is super distorted. So hopefully it's better now. Hello, Cygnus. Thank you for the 44 months of resubbing. Always happy to have you. One of our longest and strongest eternal nights. But yes, I hope everybody is doing well today. We are going to be doing more of our solo D&D adventures. So let me just make sure all my things are broadcasting correctly. After my debacle in my main D&D game, I'm paranoid now every time. But so the way this is going to work, we're going to jump back into where we were. We just got, I'll do a session recap in a second, but we're going to jump back to where we were. There will be points because this is essentially a choose your own adventure novel where I'm going to ask chat, how they want to vote on something. It's usually A, B, or C because of just the simplicity of doing it. And if you vote, whoever has the most votes will decide. If there's a tie, I do a roll off. Basically, I do a 50-50 to see a coin flip in essence to see what it will be, and we continue from there. And yes, you always have to miss a piece of your spine in this establishment. That's the real side perk of an Obsidian stream. You don't have to worry about hernias because your discs are long gone, hugged away to oblivion. So yeah, we'll be going through those votes. Previously on, we're a little goblin bard named Gobby Lynn Bernadette that was created by chat previously. We got a job working on this ship called the Sun Dancer as a guard, as the captain of the ship is escorting the super rich fancy lady at her weird as fuck jeweled egg someplace. And while we were going to help them, we accidentally got involved in a mutiny as a fellow goblin named Randy, a Randy goblin, if you will, worked with some of his buddies to steal the ship while everyone was on the beach having a pleasant afternoon / fireworks. So we got stuck aboard, and that's kind of where we'll be starting off as we're aboard this ship. So without further ado, time to turn on the ambient music. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet, please. And we'll get back into the action. Okay. So, here we are. We're here, we're queer, get used to it. So, section 67 was where we left off. Ribcage lumbers back above deck. Ribcage is a very quiet bugbear who was in a jail cell in our cabin. Lumbers back above deck to find Randy pacing and cursing. Rain, our non-binary one-arm / mecha-armed, like, duplicating, like, clone human, who is part of the mutiny crew. Did I bug the bugbear? I tried, but he wouldn't listen to me. He just stared at me when I tried to talk to him. This merges back with the original, as all the duplicates of Rain collapse in and expand out. Kind of like Duplicate in Invincible, I guess. I don't know if they also die brutally, but oh god, I don't remember any of the voices I did for the crew, so we're just gonna start from scratch. We were told that we needed to have more internationally diverse voices, so we're gonna make Rain French from here on out. The starboard anchor is jammed, they say. We are not going anywhere. The sound of the captain's oars are now audible, even over him shouting out of time. Stroke! 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 Thank, Randy says. He bangs his forehead with a fist. You two have any ideas? Rain and Ribcage look at each other blankly, then back to Randy. You should count yourself lucky I've lasted this long, Rain says. I've never had this many of me at once. As they speak, one of the duplicates drops to the deck and fades away into tendrils of mist. Rain winces. Plan C it is, Randy shouts. Wait, what was Plan B? Rain asks. That was it! Plan A was asking the captain nicely to give me the ship. That didn't work either. Randy spins and points at you. You are Plan C! And he waits. You hear the longboat draw up alongside the Sun Dancer below, and a dozen sailors pull themselves up onto the deck. You could quietly agree to help Randy, Raid, and Ribcage. You could try to take the mutineers into custody, or you could say nothing at all and wait for the captain to arrive. Chat, if you could please vote A, B, or C, I would appreciate that in chat. A is to help the mutineers, B is to capture the mutineers, and C is to mind our own business and see how it plays out. So, type A in chat if you want to help a bunch of mutineers get out of the help. Or press B if you want to be a force of nothing but authority. Press C if you'd like to be someone who sits on the sidelines and sees what can be. A, B, C, those are your choices for thee. So we have a vote for doing nothing. Does anyone else wish to vote any of the other ways? Basically, mutineers, captain, or nothing. Those are our options. I'll give you another 10 seconds. Otherwise, Master Fail will be fully in command of our life. All right, Master Fail, you went out by virtue of being the one decider here. So we go to 77. You maintain your silence. Randy's face seems to twitch as he grows more and more impatient. Ribcage nods his own, also silent approval, of your tactics. So, the strong silent thing is already taken by my cousin here, Randy says. I really don't need another one. He tries again to wait on your response. As he stands there with a strained smile, Rain staggers for a moment, but one of their own duplicates appears at their side to help. It rejoins the original, and more soon follow. In a matter of moments, it's just you and the 3 mutineers standing alone on deck. Fine, you win! You win! Take us in! He holds up his arms in surrender. Ribcage utters a wordless but still questioning grumble, and Rain starts to say Randy's name. Just do it! The other 2 mutineers look askance at each other, but then do the same. The moment everyone's arms are up, there is a bang on the side of Sundancer. Several sailors clamber back onto the ship, brandishing whatever they could find on shore. Tarnished silverware, table legs, and a brass candelabra. The captain follows and draws an ornamental, but still very pointy sword. What is going on here? We surrender, Captain, Randy yells. Take us in before the monster does something terrible. The gobbo deck hand points at you. The captain looks at you, eyes wide in budding fear. You shake your head, but still maintain your silence. Man, Master Fail getting us real fucked up in here. Take them away then? Captain Solaris says to his crew. The sailors shrug and comply, binding the mutineers' hands in chains. Randy, Rain, and Ribcage are bound and marched to the brig below. So it seems you will have more company when you turn in for the evening. As they leave, Randy smiles and winks at you, wagging a stern finger mockingly. Meanwhile, the crew go about setting up a departure, including breaking down the disastrous picnic and ferrying everyone else from the beach. Saphira is on the first boat back, though her valet seems to have stayed behind. She begins to squawk about how her life was just threatened, her voice rising to a level of shrieking that causes the seagulls in the air above to begin to cry out in response. But Solaris heads over to you. He squeezes your shoulder with gratitude, looking you in the eye like an equal. You got me my ship back, so I thank you, Captain Solaris says. For that I am grateful, but I need another favor from you. Please search the ship for any remaining threats. It would put the crew at ease, and then please check on the anchor mechanism. It seems to have malfunctioned, but no one wants to go below decks until you've cleared the area. I know, how dare somebody consider themselves equal to the very own, the great Gabi Lin. Saphira comes stalking up to the captain, her hat askew and her skirts swishing wrathfully against the deck. She is also pointing at you. You could do as the captain asks and avoid the noblewoman's fury, or stay to get an earful for yourself. Alright, chat, what do we want to do? Do we want to do what the captain says and get out of here, or get yelled at by our Himedere? Press A if you want to bail, press B if you're in here. 2 set sail and get yelled at. A or B, the choice is for ye. A or B, you don't know what to see. So feel free to cast ye vote. B for your chocolate croissant, Alistair, getting yelled at. Alright, we got a vote for getting yelled at. Does anybody else wish to vote? I'll give you a nice 10 seconds. What will we do with you, you see? Oh, we got other for B. Alright, 2 for B seems like the deciding factor here. So we go for 88. You! Saphira yells as she approaches and waves a manicured finger in your face. I thought it was your job to protect me! How dare you leave me alone with those ruffians? Excuse me, ma'am, says Solaris softly. If the adventurer hadn't been on board the ship, the mutineers would have succeeded. We would still be on the beach. She deflates a little. Would I still be on the beach? For how long? Days, milady, the captain says carefully. Maybe even weeks, until we would have been able to flag down a passing ship to rescue us. Days? Weeks? Saphira gazes at the beach of milling sailors. Many are lying shirtless in the sun, waiting for a longboat to return them to the sun dancer. Others are arguing at such volume they can be clearly heard from here. The horror that she has escaped becomes clear for a moment, but she quickly shakes it off. Well, you're all still idiots. She stalks off towards her cabin, demanding Francis be sent to her as soon as he's back on board, while you go below to investigate. Baka! You search the rooms and holds below decks and find nothing but signs of Rain's clumsy duplicates. It seems that it was impossible to make so many copies and keep them competent. Working from stern to bow, you end up in the windlass room, where there are two machines constructed of pulleys, chains, and various interlocking parts. The huge chains attached to the anchors lead through holes in the hull. The port side seems to be working fine, and you see nothing wrong, at first glance. You can't see anything amiss with the starboard side either, but as you circle around the back, something glints in the muted sunlight, shining through the gaps in the deck above. You approach cautiously, expecting to uncover some booby trap left by the mutineers. Instead, you find Saphira's jeweled egg jammed firmly into the cogs of one of the gears. You grip it and prepare to yank it from the mechanism, but it comes away with just the slightest effort. Warm and heavy in your hands, the egg does not seem to have been damaged by its ordeal. How it got there is not apparent, as no one was on board except the 3 mutineers. You take the egg and go above deck. You emerge from one direction while Saphira bursts back onto the deck like a shrill typhoon. It's gone! The egg is gone! They've stolen my baby! She screams each sentence in the face of a new stunned sailor. Captain, they've stolen my most treasured possession! The captain descends from where he was speaking to the helmsman and tries to calm down the hysterical noblewoman. He makes an announcement to the crew, casting his voice enhancement spell again. All right, crew, we will not be weighing anchor until the egg is found. So unless you want to swim back to port, find it. Saphira nods emphatically in response, and the crew will start looking wherever they happen to be standing. Before you can consider what to do, there's a heavy thud on the deck beside you. The egg has fallen onto the floor somehow, and is now rolling around at your feet with the sway of the ship. You grab for it, but not fast enough. The captain swoops in and scoops it off the deck. Ah, the adventurers found it, calls the captain brightly. And now we can be on our way once again. He hands the treasured object back to Saphira, who snatches it thanklessly and storms off to her cabin. Well then, Captain Solaris says loudly to no one in particular, that concludes our first successful outing of the voyage. Once the rest of the crew has come aboard, we shall set sail for our destination again. Hey, Locke, how you doing? Crew members look at each other and mutter about whether the captain attended the same event, but Solaris is either oblivious or opts to ignore them. He approaches you and nervously interlaces his fingers. That was a disaster, he says quietly. A complete disaster. Please, I need you to check on the prisoners to make sure nothing else is going wrong. You nod and return to your cabin, where you have new companions already locked in Ribcage's cell. You enter in the middle of Randy expounding, and some sources say the treasure is a dragon pirate's hoard, piled high in a live volcano. Others report a villainous giant who steals the faces of sailors, unfortunate enough to wash up on its shores, to assume their shape. Or there's the real conspiracy theory that it's the headquarters of some magical bureau that spreads its influence throughout the nearby islands, maybe the world. But But as I told you every single time, Rain says with a long-suffering sigh, there is no map, no record, no account at all of Oki alone. I'm telling you that it does not exist. Ribcage is the first to notice you, and he alerts his cellmates to your presence. Rain shuts their mouth, but Randy grins at you with his multicolored teeth. Is that a dragon-themed pirate or a dragon with an eye patch? I believe it is a dragon with an eye patch, with a very, very large floppy hat with a feather in it. Hey there, bunkmate, he says. Can't say this is much worse than the birth. At least we don't have to deal with Ishmael's gas or Robbie talking in his sleep. And if I collect all Ribcage's shed fur, I can make myself a nice little nest. I don't know what you see in this one, Rain says to Randy. Doesn't seem trustworthy to me. Well, I'm an excellent judge of character, Randy replies. Then to you, he asks, so what can we do for you? Now, we can ask our new roommates what they intended to do with the marooned crew, why Randy gave up so easily, or you could ask Rain about the mechanical arm and what it can do. Hey, Rain, what that arm do? Yep, we get to ask about some nice wanking techniques with a mechanical arm that leads to section 69. So your options are A, ask what Randy's plans were, B, ask why they gave up so quickly, or C, ask about mechanical masturbation. The time is now for you to vote. Which of these will float your boat? A, do you wish to see why or what they intended to do? B, why they gave up to? C, what they tend to do with a wanking dick? A, no horny. Okay, we got a no horny vote. Any other votes? Give you a nice 10 seconds more to decide. Blibbity blobbity blue. That sounds like a vote for you. Alright, we got the no horny is winning out, so let us determine our no horny future. So we go to 83. You ask what Randy...
So, Randy, what was your plan with all the people you were leaving behind? Seems like, kind of a dick move.
What more could you ask of me? He huffs. They had shelter, I left the food and water that you would have found after a minute in the picnic basket. I even left them without fireworks they could signal a passing ship. Rain lays a sympathetic hand on the goblin's shoulder. Ribcage remains silent and impassive. I may be a thief, but I'm not a monster. Randy looks at his green hands then up at the bugbear. No offense. If you haven't done so yet, you can ask Randy why he gave up so easily, ask about the mechanical arm, or if we're done questioning them, we could just say peace out, bro. So, A, ask why they gave up, B, ask about 69, or C, just continue on with our life. Which would you like to vote, A, B, or C? A, B, or C? Which will be the vote for thee? A, B, or C? We got a vote for B. Asking about 69. Alright, we're going horny mode. We got multiple votes for 69. You heard it here first, folks. Alistair Dion, our token French fiend, wishes to know all about 69. Oh wow, this is a rather long explanation for this.
So, Rain, what's the deal with your mechanical arm? And, I wish to, not to be too forward, but, what do that arm do, if you catch my drift?
Whittle's eyebrows. No ad, Randy says, his tone surprisingly gentle. It's fine. I will send the shipwreck, Rain says slowly. A storm rushed out at us from clear skies and at the center of the storm. In the middle of all the run and wound, the thunder and lightning, something came about. I don't know if you've ever smelled a lightning struck, but that's what it smelled like. Whatever it was, it grabbed me, and it was like the world lit up. Then it went out. Rain lowers their head for a moment. And I woke up on some scabby little dinghy looking up at this. Rain jerks a thumb at Randy, who purses his lips at a parody of handsomeness. Rain also includes Ribcage. And this owie oaf. They nursed me back to Earth and helped me cobble this together. From spare parts and a stolen alchemist coop. Rain has a real gift for the mechanical, Randy says. Less so with people. Luckily, that's where I shine. Clearly spent from saying so much to you, Rain sits on the floor next to Ribcage, with their knees against their chest. The bugbear shifts to block the young sailor from view. If you haven't done so yet, we could ask Randy about the crew. We have two options. We could ask why he gave up so easily, or we can stop asking questions. A, what do you intend to do? B, we're done with you. A, what do you intend to do? B, what, we're done with you. A, what do you intend to do? B, that, we're done with you. Post your vote, cast and chat. Let me know where your brain is at. Alright, we got 2 votes for A. Welcome, Vondanolo. Welcome. 1 vote for B. Give it a few more seconds and we'll decide. Okay. Let's go with A. So, why'd he give up so easily?
So, Randy, why the heckerdoodle did you give up so quickly?
You know, it seems like you could have put in a bit more effort with your mutiny, I guess. Well, you know what they say. He says, getting a faraway look at his eyes. Better to live to steal another day than to die on a boat that doesn't belong to you. Yet. Ribcage gives an almost imperceptible nod and Rain smirks. Yet? What can I say? Every cloud has a platinum lining, Randy says with a grin. Alright, now we can move on. We've gotten all the info.
Alright, well, that's enough for me. I don't really give a shit about what you guys are doing anymore.
Wait! Randy cries out, reaching between the bars. I just have to know, what happened? Why did the anchor drop? Ribcage and Rain both show studied indifference, but their curiosity is almost another person in the brig. You can tell the mutineers about the egg jammed into the windlass, or tell them nothing and leave. Do we wish to inform them or be mysterious? Enjoy your dinner, Master Burb. Alright, A, do we wish to tell them about a little egg? Or B, do we say we're not gonna say anything anymore? A, egg, B, leave. A, egg, B, leave. Which would you like to see? Okay, we got a vote for A. We got 2 votes for A. Looks like A is gonna win out. You tell the prisoners that you found Saphira's jeweled egg jammed into the anchor mechanism in such a way that it seemed to have locked the anchor in place. The egg? Did you take it, you? Both Ribcage and Rain shake their heads. The goblin stares off into the middle distance, but that's impossible! Ribcage pulled the anchor. We were at full sail on our way out to sea, so who dropped anchor? Rain shrugs and gives a wry smile. Someone stealing the egg, did it? The egg did it, Randy mumbles, scratching at the tuft of hair on his chin. The goblin falls silent, lost in thought. Rain and Ribcage stare at each other. You take it as your cue to leave. So, As you emerge from the conversation with the prisoner below deck, the crew is making final preparations to weigh anchor and resume your journey. Everything is working properly without your input. The captain is at the helm, Saphira nowhere to be seen, and Francis seems to be learning a simple knot from a sailor as they sit cross-legged on the deck. You finally have a chance to lean against the gunwale, let the salt spray hit your face, and watch the sun set into the ocean in a splash of color as bright as any tropical fish. This is definitely an egg conspiracy, an egg-spiracy, if you will. Before the sun... Oh, we gain the benefits of a short rest. Yay! We didn't have any issues, but it's still nice to have. Before the sun's color has fully left the sky, dinner is called out, and all non-essential crew members leave their posts and go down into the mess hall. Do we wish to follow the crew, or stay above deck and skip dinner? Go have some noms, don't eat some noms. Which do we like to be? A nom, B, no nom, B, A nom, B, no nom. You decide, chat. Where do you want to be? Down below deck, filling our tummy? Or B, sitting up above, looking at the sky so bright? B, looking out there you see, as the day turns into night. A, I believe in nomming, a solid sentiment. We do support a good nomming in this establishment, and it looks like chat is voting to nom. So we're going to follow the crew to the nommery. You descend to see what's on the menu for tonight. As you look for a seat, there are none available except at the captain's table. Luckily, he beckons you to join him. As you move through the ranks of sailors at their benches, you hear the men grumbling about the cook's fare compared to the snacks on the beach. Some lament that they ever had to leave those golden sands. Others gag down the goop in their bowls, which first I thought it said bowels, which would have been a very funny sentence. You try not to listen and breathe through your nose. The captain sits alone at the head table when you join him. There are 3-place setting with plates and glassware. Each contains a whole fried fish, one with a hook and line in its mouth, a neat mound of rice and flakes of dried seaweed, and a side of boiled vegetables again. As you sit, the captain points at the seat next to you. The Lady Saphira has opted to dine in her cabin today. I hope you'll deliver her meal when dinner is over. Captain Solaris then rises and chimes his knife against his glass. He has to repeat the action several times before the crew finally quiets down and turns their attention to him. Thank you all for your part in our wonderfully successful first excursion of the voyage. He says brightly to a chorus of grumbles and even a few boos. And while we have room for improvement on the next outing, like not having an attempted mutiny, I'm delighted with the final result. He raises his glass in a toast to the crew as they half-heartedly raise their mugs back to him. A massive peal of thunder rips through the air. The whole ship lurches violently to starboard. Many sailors and their foul-smelling dinners are thrown to the floor. Fortunately, you're propped up by the captain, who falls to the floor instead. A gust of wind blasts through the mess hall. Starting from the door leading above deck, you take to your feet and rush back through the crew to emerge into the open air under rapidly darkening skies. Let me just quickly adjust something in Roll20. Since I have a feeling we're about to engage in fisticuffs. Okay. Thunder crashes and lightning splits the suddenly darkened sky. You try to get to your feet, but find the ship roiling on the waves. It takes you a moment to find your balance on the unwieldy ship, steadying yourself enough to search out the source of this unnatural storm. Wind and rain whip your face so sharply you need to check to see if your cheek is bleeding. I'm all cheeked up, as they say. A crack of thunder loud enough that you feel it rattle your very bones booms as lightning illuminates the scene. Lightning elemental off the starboard bow! Cries a panicked voice. A vaguely humanoid figure hovers in the air just off the railing. It seems to be made of the very storm itself, a body of connected circling tempests, flashing and shimmering with silver clouds. It approaches the sun dancer and alights on the deck. Arcs of lightning land smoking on the wooden planks and flicker across the sea spray puddling there. The crew pours out of the belly of the ship and freezes at the sight of the creature, casting a menacing gaze over the deck. Look at that little fella, looking real feisty. No! One of them yells, "That's it, I'm done!" The lone sailor sprints for the longboat, and his good sense shakes his crewmates loose of their shock. They scatter like roaches in lamplight to leave Captain Stellara standing alone to realize for himself what's happening. In moments, you hear the splash of the longboats over the gale and shouts receding out over the open ocean. "Lady Saphira!" he yells before sprinting back the way he came. His cry draws the attention of the elemental, who starts floating over the deck towards where the captain disappeared below. Alright everyone, this is where the real ladies are made. Do we wish to fisticuff with the elemental now? B. Look for a way to distract the elemental. C. Hide and bide our time. Or D. Escape into the water. Do we wish to A. Throw down with this lightning fella? He's a bit feisty on the double. B. Do we wish to distract him too with our big old jumbly bouncy orbs? Or C. Do we wish to hide and see what will come of this crew at sea? Or D. Do we just say fuck it and leave, jumping in the water of the briny sea? Alright, we have 2 votes for B, doing a little clowning, as chat says, for Lady Sapphic, you know. So is that the final answer of chat? Do we wish to be a little silster, be a little distracting? We gotta be heroic, but not too heroic. Alright, looks like B is the overall vote. So we're gonna go distract this fella. You look around the deck for something you can do to distract or otherwise defeat the lightning elemental, wreaking havoc on the sun dancer. We can now make a wisdom perception check. Let's see what we get. Oh, I think I have -1 to this. Oh! No, I have a flat roll for this. Because I'm a bard. Oh, we got a 16, baby! Out of we have a +0, so getting a 16 on our DC 10. Let's go see what that takes us to. You see the mainsail has a thick boom of heavy wood swinging back and forth at the same height as the elemental hovering above deck. You should be able to use the boom to slam into the elemental, possibly knocking it into the ocean. We could use the boom to attack the elemental indirectly, or we could decide to fisticuff it. So now we have the option of we have a way to distract it, or we could go back to fighting it, or we could run away. Which would you rather do? Continue distracting it, fight it, or run away? A, B, C. Distract, fight, or run away. That's our options here today. Which would you like to see us say? Yeah, it is kind of an odd voice or choice flow. I guess they want to be like, hey, we want to really make sure that you don't want to fight this thing if that's what you're trying to do. Stick to A, you know, so, you know, they're like, you know, hey, we don't want to deprive you of combat if you really want to do combat. So, alright, the votes are to continue bamboozling. Dodging past, you try to wrestle with the boom, using it as a battering ram to slam the elemental off its feet. The ropes have all been whipped together into a knot, so it's a mad dash for you to try and pick out the correct one which will help. You'll benefit from Brute strength, nimble fingers, or on-the-fly assessment to get the main mass boom to swing into the elemental. So we can make a strength, dexterity, or intelligence. We don't have a background in sailing or proficiency in boats. So which stat do you guys want to use? Our best stat is, I believe, dexterity. Let me double check. Yeah, our best stat is dexterity. Our worst stat is intelligence. Which would you... This is time for some bimbo dexterity. I like it, I like it. She's very good with her hands. So is chat voting that we use our bimbo dexterity, that we work this giant wooden hard shaft as we thrust it into something? Alright, we're gonna finger the rope. So it is a DC 15 dexterity check. Let's see what we get. We have a +3 to this. Where's the +1 come from? I don't know how I got a +1 to that. I guess from Jack of all trades, maybe? I guess from Jack of all trades, maybe? So, I got a 23 on my dexterity roll. I rolled a natural 19 with our +3 dex +1 apparently from something. So we passed that with flying colors. Fucking really working the shaft here. We knock the lightning elemental off balance and stun it momentarily as the creature sails a graceful arc into the ocean. In a flash and a bang, its electrical energies discharge. The air around the ship stills almost immediately, and the sky begins to clear. The sharp tang of ozone hangs heavy in the air when suddenly you feel a heavy blow to the back of your head that knocks you overboard. As the water rushes up to greet you, everything goes dark. What in the goddamn? So, we insta-killed the elemental, but then got knocked unconscious and tossed into the water. Also, hello, Tavis. Welcome, welcome. I also saw that that cute art you did of Feng Tian from Nexus Forlorn Legacy, Tavis. It made us all very happy, so thank you. Hey, Ivan. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we insta-killed an elemental and got knocked unconscious. Alright. You regain consciousness slowly and in the process try to reach up and check your head for injury. But you quickly find that your hands are bound behind you around a wooden pillar. Manacles rattle and weigh your wrist down painfully. You can smell the stink of warped wood and wet hair. Eventually the world stops swimming around you and things slowly start to make sense. This feels on brand for Bernadette. You're in the belly of a ship, the brig, if the cage around you is anything to go by. The door to your cell seems damaged and it swings loosely open, squeaking as the ship's roll makes it move on rusted hinges. On the other side of the bars, you see a wet mess of cloth and rope. That you recognize as your hammock and cargo netting. Your gear has been stowed in the cargo net again. This music is 1 hour of pirate ambient music from YouTube. I will post it in the Discord. Actually, I can post it in chat here. This is the background music we're using. So, we're still on the Sun Dancer. You test your restraints again and feel that you're able to move your arms a little further than you thought. You don't have total control, but it's better than nothing. As you fidget, you become aware of a strange object wedged between your tied hands. With some contortion, you're able to manipulate the offending item and see what's in your hands. It's Saphira's lustrous jeweled egg humming with heat. It just sits there, warm, silent, then after a moment begins to rumble, as if it is aware that your attention is on it. A couple of taps to its outer shell don't give away any of its secrets. It remains just as mysterious until it settles down in your palm once again. Now here are our 4 options. We can either listen to our surroundings, A. B. We can try to deal with the locks on the manacles. C. We want to try physically break the manacles open. Or D. Do nothing and see what happens. So what would you guys like to do? A. Hear out our surroundings. B. Break open our... B is pick the locks. C. Break open the chains. Or D. Just wait to see what happens. Huh. I'm apparently proficient in land vehicles. Not relevant to this, but neat to know. Okay, so... Oh god, I have hiccups. Alright, so we have 2 votes for lockpicking, 1 vote for just waiting to see what happens. Any other votes? They didn't ask for our safe word, 0 out of 10. I know. Real consent fail here. Damn hiccups. Okay, so we have 1 for A, 2 for B, and 1 for D. So unless somebody wants to vote in the next couple seconds, we're gonna go pick some locks, baby! Gobby Lynn doesn't do perceiving. Although she kind of does perceiving pretty well. Just based on how she's been rolling. The manacles are solid, but you believe it's not impossible to break them. Though they weigh down on your wrists uncomfortably. You know what you have to... You know that you have just enough wiggle room in order to work your magic. Make a sleight of hand check if you get an 18 or higher, or if you have a spell or ability which could open the locks. Let's see what our spells are. We haven't actually, like, done any spell crafting. No. We can't really thunder wave them, because that would smash open our own hands. So, we have Dissonant Whispers, Charm Person, Healing Word, and Speak with Animals. So none of those are really an option. So I guess we'll try Sleight of Hand, which we're not proficient in, but we have a total +4 to. We rolled a 14, so we failed. So we did not get 18 or higher on it. Time to charm the locks. You do your best, but you can't get free of the manacles that bind your hands. Eventually you have to abandon the whole attempt, settling for sitting back and conserving your remaining strength until something changes. Behind you, the jeweled egg rolls away from your hands, likely due to the motion of the ship. You whip your head around to see where it might be now, and then the light from the portal is suddenly eclipsed. At the door to the brig is a figure so large they barely fit beneath the ceiling. Okay, see you soon, Thomas. They're hunched over so as to not hit their head, meaning their face is pushed forward into yours. You are met with the gaze of an 8-foot-tall bugbear. It's Ribcage, and you have to wonder what's going to happen to you next.
Is that a club in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Your eyes follow Ribcage as he approaches to loom over where you are tied up in the cell. A quick glance shows you, or around you shows the jeweled egg is rolled somewhere out of sight. This is like that anime with the dark elf girl and the ogres. If you know, you know. That's all I'm saying. The hairy bugbear leans in close to you with a low groan and a curled lip. He may not say a word, but his meaning is clear. Don't try to escape. He unlocks the manacles behind you and backs into the door of the cell again to block your exit. He beckons you with a finger and nods towards the door out. We can go with Ribcage, push past him and go yourself, or attack him. What do we want to do? Follow the big beefy boy? Leave on our own terms, or see fucking throw down? So we got 1 vote for follow Ribcage, 1 vote for attack his bitch ass, 2 votes for follow Ribcage. Okay, following Ribcage wins out. I'm sorry, Master Fail. It's ooh, we got 2 votes for C, but 3 3 for A. I'm gonna give it another 5 seconds just to see if anybody else is gonna vote and maybe tie this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna follow Ribcage. We resist throwing down at another opportunity. We don't care how big his dingus is, we're gonna follow him. Ribcage allows you to collect your things, but keeps a close eye on you throughout. He then gestures forward for you to go above deck and escort you up. Silent, but courteous. He follows you onto deck and into the sunlight. Ribbed and caged for your pleasure? Dear God, Alistair, too real, too real. The sun is blinding as you emerge onto deck. The bugbear lets you go, but stays close behind, suggesting that any funny business is a bad idea. He has found an enormous warhammer, so large that it can only belong to him, and he now carries the weapon strapped to his back. As your eyes adjust, a familiar voice rings out across the ship, though with more authority than you thought possible. Well, that worked out to our advantage, Captain, Rain is saying to a small figure in a large hat, even though it might not have gone exactly according to plan. The plan is simply a guess you write down. Fortune is when planning meets opportunity. That is a surprisingly, that's like what I would imagine some, corporate manager would have on his wall. Well, a plan is simply a guess you write down. Fortune is when planning meets opportunity. How fortunate that we met lightning elementals on the open ocean. Victory is the opportunities found in problems, Randy says with a grin. Man, Randy literally was just reading self-help books apparently while in the brig. Getting all these fucking one-liners about corporate management. He basically read Sun Tzu's Guide to Captaining. And a wise goblin will make more opportunities than he finds. Ribcage makes a sound somewhere between a grunt and a belch, attracting the attention of Rain and the other figure on deck. What about our quote-unquote passengers? Rain asks, nodding in your direction. Why are we keeping them around? 2 reasons. Ransom for starters, but that's secondary. We'll part the good lady Saphira from her egg so that it can lead us to Oki Island. So then where's the egg? So many questions today, child. Finally, the small figure on deck turns towards you. Maybe you have some insights for us? Yeah, obviously it was Randy. Jesus Christ. I don't know why they're acting like this is secret information. Like it's some big reveal that the short guy wearing a hat who is a goblin is Randy. The guy who already led a mutiny. But whatever. Though you don't believe your ears, you now must believe your eyes. The captain before you is Randy. You must blurt out his name because Rain is quick to correct you. Look at this dashing little fella. Would you fuck Randy? Oh, too far. That's Captain or Captain's Sharp Smile from now. Oh, sorry. That's Captain or Captain Sharp Smile from now on. Rain says sharply. Then more quietly to the captain. I never could get used to calling you Randy. This man has stolen chickens and he will steal chickens again. I prefer Randall anyway, the captain says with a smile. So, adventure, any idea where we find my egg? The noble lady locked in her cabin was quite distraught to find it missing. I must admit that I feel the same. You look around the deck between Rain, Ribcage, and Captain Sharpsmile. If you have the jeweled egg in your inventory, if we don't have it, it ran away from us. You admit that you don't have the egg on you, and even allow Ribcage a quick search of your person. He reaches deeply into your bottomless bazongas, but yet finds nothing except his own blushing face. Randy has committed foul deeds such as jaywalking and minor tax evasion.
Nothing's ever so easy, Captain Sharpsmile says, with a little sigh. Looks like we need to search the ship before making way.
Captain, Rain says, pointing with their mechanical arm. It might be easier than you think. You follow Rain's pointing finger along with the captain and the bugbear. Sitting on the floor of the door leading back down below is the jeweled egg, glistening in the sun. The captain's mouth splits into a wide, toothy grin, and a slightly manic chuckle boils up out of him. But how did it get there? Rain asked dubiously.
Ribcage, if you would please,
he says. Then to Rain, he continues.
Seems we're fated to be together, me and the egg. Best not to ask questions. But it seems the stories are true. There's something more to this little treasure than gold and precious stones.
The bugbear helps the captain collect his prize, surprisingly gentle given his size, and the goblin takes it with reverence. You know, Ribcage, a gentle giant, tenderly asking for consent before fondling our bazongas, searching for any large egg or perhaps bell-shaped objects that might be lying between them. Captain Sharpsmile turns the egg over in his hands, examining it from every possible angle.
If lost, return to Okie Island, he reads aloud.
Lost in thought, he still asks,
Ribcage, I take it our other guests are still in their cabin.
The great brute nods his head. Randy doesn't say anything at first. He seems to be absorbed in staring at the egg and searching for more clues that he doesn't find. He takes off his hat for a moment and checks it for inscriptions as well, but is disappointed when he finds nothing.
Nobles,
the goblin captain says finally.
You go through all the trouble of setting them up comfortably to be ransomed off, and they can't even be bothered to come say hello. Honestly, it's just impolite.
Captain? Capitan? Rain says, raising an eyebrow gently but respectfully, prompting him that you're still listening.
Right, yes, as my dutiful young charge has said. I'm the captain and in charge of the commandeered vessel to be granted a new name, the Rapier Wit, and you owe me your life.
Oh, doesn't he know it's really bad luck to rename a ship? To ask what... so our options are, we could ask him why we owe him your life. B, ask why Saphira is at her cabin. C, ask if we could leave. Or D, skip any preamble and agree to join the search for Okie Island. Which would you like to do? Do we want to ask him why we owe him? B, ask why Saphira is at her cabin. C, just try to leave. Or D, actually just decide to help him. And Master Phil asking the real questions. When will I find the orbs fated to be with me? Alright, we got 3 votes for A, so it looks like we're gonna find out why we owe him our life.
So, why did you keep me alive? You know, it seems like you kind of blame me for why you wound up in the brig in the first place after your failed mutiny.
He asks the question. The goblin throws his head back and laughs. It's a reedy, scratching sort of chuckle, and it reminds you of nails on a chalkboard.
Well, you didn't climb out of the ocean sodden and unconscious by yourself, did ya? You would have fed the fish or worse. Turtles, maybe.
You follow up with asking why Randy was on the Sundancer in the first place.
Because we're going to rob you. There was a lot of treasure on the ship, wasn't there? But now I've come up with an even better idea. Keep the treasure and get rid of the lady. After all, she ought to be worth a pretty penny, and with the former captain of this vessel too? Woo, doggy. I'm not actually sure you're worth anything though, so we might give you a chance on board. You're welcome.
The ocean was what we got knocked into when we were knocked unconscious after defeating the elemental. Not the dreaded turtles. Alright, now we can pick up with the other conversation choices. Do you wish to ask about Saphira? Ask if we could leave, or skip everything and move on?
Hello, Nocturne. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow.
We're doing a choose-your-own-adventure novel, so, you know, D&D adventure, so kick back and enjoy. You must know if Milady is safe. Alistair Nia is such a good bean. Too kind for this world. Hey, that's our noble Ochisama we're seducing. See, chat gets it. Chat gets it. I mean, fellow passenger. So we got 2 votes for A. Any other votes? Give you a few more seconds. Yeah, they knocked us unconscious, but rather than leaving us to die, they decided to pull us out. So that's their rationale. Alistair does just want to be yelled at again. Alright, looks like A it is. We're gonna go ask why Saphira is in her cabin.
Well, I can't very well have hostages wandering around the boat, can I? A lady and former captain will make a valuable ransom in Brigand's Bay.
Wasn't that the name of the place in fucking World of Warcraft? Or wasn't it something akin to that? Or no, it's Booty Bay. My bad. Similar concept, different wording. Do you still want me to bring them supplies? Capitan? Asks Rain.
When we're done here, maybe.
Randy says.
We've had nothing but ship's rations, so let hunger be the seasoning for their next meal. I no interest in one of the ladies' tantrums.
Alright, now we can ask if we could leave or just stop asking questions. A, ask if we could leave. I'm assuming the answer is obviously no, based on the context of the other questions we've asked. But B is we could just say, alright, we're done. Let's move on. Let's give him our full support, mateys. We got 1 vote for, just help him out. Give him full support. Goblin gang, rise up! Goblin gang, goblin gang. Alrighty, it looks like we have 1 vote for ask if we could leave and 2 for that we're just gonna skip past it, so it seems that skip past it is gonna be the winner.
You're coming with us then? Splendid!
Randy shouts, clapping his hands together.
Well, make yourself useful. We don't bite much.
Except for Ribcage, actually, so don't irritate him. The bugbear next to you growls. You take a sidestep away. It's another day or 2 to get to the bay. If you aren't a nuisance...
Oh, it's another day or 2 to get to the bay. If you aren't a nuisance, then it won't be a problem.
The goblin's eyes glitter like the gold teeth in his wry smile, and a hand rests casually on the sword at his hip.
But if you are a nuisance, I'll gut you from neck to navel, eh? So behave.
Behind him, Ribcage folds his arms and curls a lip at you. Captain Sharpsmile turns from you and makes his way to the helm of the ship. He caresses the wheel for a moment before calling out to Rain to weigh anchor. The ship gets underway with you and Ribcage still staring at each other down on deck. Yo! Who is this hot elf samurai girl? Look at those bazongas! Excellent titty curve. We have found a new waifu. Saphira is dead to me. Long live samurai elf girl. Elf detected deploy Riz. Well, we gained the benefit of a long rest. So we need a tag team of Ribcage and this elf. as the real final arc of this adventure. Your voyage is quiet with little to do. The captain spends his time reading charts and examining the egg, ignoring you and his other companions. Ribcage stands guard at the prisoner's cabin, though as you discover this, you hear the voices of Saphira and ex-captain Solaris raised in argument. Rain has all their concentration on the silent one-armed duplicates working the ship, and the original remains in the crow's nest most of the time. Luckily, the captain's travel estimate is on the long side. Thanks to the favorable winds and smooth seas, it's less than a day before Rain calls out from the crow's nest. Long O! Captain Sharp Smile, Ribcage, and the original Rain congregate on the starboard deck and look out across the sea. The captain hops up onto the railing and takes out the longest spyglass that you've ever seen, pointing it in the direction that was hailed. He does a fucking Jack Sparrow. Alright, I'll try to enunciate more. I'm sorry. All you can see so far is the faint green line against the blue horizon. But as the ship turns toward it, you can start to make out details of your destination. As the Rapier Wit approaches, you find that Brigand's Bay seems to aggressively contradict expectations. The tile roofs are elegantly curved to meet the heavens with upturned eaves. Right by the harbor, a multi-tiered tower reaches for the sky. Even at this distance, you can see gorgeous latticework and carefully groomed rock gardens that are beautiful in their asymmetry. The whole space suggests an uncluttered minimalism. But everything is scuffed with a thin layer of chaos. Threadbare laundry is strung between buildings haphazardly. More than a few roofs are occupied by sleeping figures making the most of their hammock-like curves. Once bright stone is stained with soot, and who knows what, and you can practically smell the inhabitants with your eyes. Randy steers the ship into port, and the Rain duplicates take care of the mooring lines. A gangplank is put out, and it lands right at the feet of a lean, beautiful sea elf with an impatient scowl on her face. We entered fucking Pirate Japan! We are in the fair land of Pirate Japan. Or I guess we could be in Pirate Hong Kong, and so we're in Pirate China. We did! We found the Waku Pirates! Look at that little junk sail. I just heard that random Zelda line in this fucking BGM music. Do you know how hard it is to keep a pirate crew together in port, Captain? Opal, my first mate, Randy says to you. He calls down the gangplank. I imagine it's about as easy as commandeering a ship with 3 people, eh? We're gonna, the Portuguese never will see it coming. Something like that. She drops the scowl into a broad smile. Happy to see you, Captain. Permission to come aboard? Permission granted! Cries the captain, throwing his arms wide to embrace his first mate. He comes about to her waist. Captain! A word? Calls out another voice from the dock. Permission denied, Harbor Master! Randy yells, but the figure advances on the Rapier Wit nonetheless. The man, a gray-whiskered human, wears a coat that might have once been fine and expensive, but is now threadbare and moth-eaten. He pushes his pince-nez up the bridge of his nose. He seems tired, but you imagine being a harbor master in a pirate town is a thankless job. He's holding a polearm topped with a curving blade the size of a short sword. The weapon is of extraordinary craftsmanship. It is both the folded steel blade and once polished ebony haft. However, the slovenly harbor master wields it with a clumsy brutality that suggests the weapon was looted from some other, more skilled warrior. He's followed closely by a scruffy guard giving aggressive side-eyes to everyone on the wharf. Quito! The captain calls out, going down the gangplank to head the harbor master off. Good to see you again. The harbor master steps back onto the firmer ground of the dock. Oh no, you don't. Don't try that charm with me, Sharp Smile. You know that you owe me 7 platinums worth of docking fees. Randy groans, hand twisting around the hilt of his rapier, as if he's heartily considering using it. Dear me, Quito, can't we forget about that for old time's sake? Last time we met, you stabbed me. You probably deserved it then. This'll be a quick visit, in and out. How about I get you next time? How about I take it out of your hides? The harbor master snaps. His hired muscle draws a small spiked club, a more appropriate weapon for his rank, and rushes at the captain. Do we wish to intercept the attacker or let the fight play out? 1. Help Randy. B. See what happens. What do you wish to do? Ba-do-da-do-da-do. 1. Help Randy. B. See what happens. That's our choices for you. We got 1 vote for B, 1 vote for A. Any other votes out here today? Let me know. Let me see you away. That's our cringe corrupt goblin captain. Anybody, any other votes? We got 1 for B and 1 for A. I'll roll off if we don't get another vote in another couple seconds. I appreciate that the literally blue elf is not named Saphira. Alright, we're gonna roll off to see what it is then, since we have 1 vote for B and 1 vote for A. So on a 1 to 2, we go A. On a 3 to 4, we go B. 1, we're gonna intercept. It's time for us to fisticuff. Every goblin was kung fu fighting. Okay, we intercept. This is our first battle, everybody. Time to switch to the real music. Give me 1 second. So I gotta pause the BGM. And let me know if this is too loud or too quiet. Might be muted. There we go. Let's get our initiative up in here. You were doing dishes, so you don't know what we're doing. We're fighting. We're battling this harbor master's guard. Wow, we got a 21 on initiative. This guy has a +0. Wow, he still got a 16. Alrighty, so we're squared up with this guy. Randy yells, "Don't kill him! But I encourage you to hurt him very badly." He's got advantage on ability checks and saving throws to avoid being knocked prone and shoved. When struck with attack within 5 feet of the guard, you must roll a Constitution save or be poisoned because of his aggressive halitosis. What a fucking ability name. Alright, he's got 26 HP and 11 hit points. So, should we attack him or should we sling some spells? Let me know what you guys would prefer. We could try to mind break him. Well, he's human for one thing, so that is a distinguishable difference between him and Randy, Vaughn. Alright, well, I think we're gonna try and mind break this guy. So we're gonna cast Dissonant Whispers. So it's a DC 13 Wisdom save, otherwise he's gonna take 11 damage. He has a +0 to this. Ah, 14! What a dick. Alright, so... on a failed save, on a successful save, they take half the damage and don't run away. So he's gonna take, because this is my D&D game, he's gonna take 6 damage, because we round up in my world. Oh, I didn't put it on loop. My bad. Give me 1 second. There we go. Alrighty, so we do 6 damage. He has 20 hit points left. Yeah, curse these saving throws. What a dick move. So this guy... So, Gobby takes out her trusty bass guitar and it does a powerful guitar riff on it that tries to mind break him with some rockin' jams, but he's too halitoasted up, too much phlegm on this guy, and it prevents him from fully getting immersed in the raw vibes of our arcane energy. And he's gonna try and bonk our girl with his club. So he has a +2 to hit, and Gobby has an AC of 14. He got an 18 to hit. He's gonna bonk us, baby. We're getting bonked live in 4K. He does 1d4 +2 damage. Okay, Gobby just took 3 damage. 3 out of 14, I think. Let me look at my HP again. Oh, 3 out of 16. I forgot we gave ourselves, like, stupidly high constitution. Okay. I think for this, we're going to switch over to the Roll20, just so you can see my rolls. No, I'm not cheating on you. Actually, I'm an R&B fan. Alright, so he gives Gobby a bonk. Her massive tits just wobble to the side with the impact of this club against them. In response, I think she's gonna hit a power chord and try and thunder wave this guy. Thunder wave! So he has to make a... Ooh, he's actually pretty good con saves. Oh! Alright, so he's making this at a +2. Aha! He fails with a 6. Oh, he actually gets advantage to this because his sea legs give him advantage on saving throws to not be shoved. So I would say that Thunder Wave probably counts as a shove for the purposes of this, so I'll give him another roll. Ah, fuck it, he saves. Man, we do another 6 damage to him. Fuck this guy. We were busting out a lot of spells. This guy is just tanking them. So yeah, we try to hit a righteous power chord, but he's too wobbly from all of his sea time, as his sea legs, the worst kind of legs, keep him on solid dock, I guess, as we try to knock him free. He's gonna try and bonk us again. He's gonna hit. This is D4 +2. That's another 3 damage. Thank God he's doing very, very shitty damage. But, we're not looking so hot. He's got 14 hit points left, and we have 10 hit points left. So now we know Thunder Wave, probably not a good spell to cast on this guy. But now I'm also concerned that we're gonna lose. So, I'm gonna use our final spell slot to try and mind break him again. Alright, see if he gets this DC 13. Aha, he failed! He doesn't have any pluses to this. So we do another 10. So now he's up to 22 out of 26. And he is, I believe, now afraid. He's afraid of these bazongas. Failed save takes 3 to 6 psych damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far away as speed allows away from you. So he just fucking pieces out. And so he just uses a reaction to it. It's not like he's feared. So I guess he moves 30 feet as a reaction. Because he can't move 60 as a reaction. So I guess he could just move back into melee. This actually was not as good of a use of our ability that I thought it was. That is unfortunate. Yeah, so he moves 30 feet away and then comes back. Oh, that's actually a good point. That is a good point, Alistair. Yeah, you're bringing out those expert strats. So, Gobby is going to back up her 35 feet that she can. Because she's a little gobbo. And so, as this guy goes screaming away, as he just listens to massive mommy milkers, massive mommy milkers, massive mommy milkers bouncing in your head. He's just like, no! No, me hearties! Those bazongas be too bodacious! And he goes screaming away as she is playing her guitar, walking backwards. I'm lactose intolerant! I'd be shitting my brains out if I got a hold of those milkers. And, so he has to use a dash to get back into, to get 5 feet away from us, technically. So we have the option of we can stab him, or we can try and viciously mock him. I think I know what chat would want us to do, but I feel that I should still ask. Do you want us to stab him or mock him? We used all of our first level spells. Alright, we have a vote for stab. 2 votes for stab. Peter's trash talk comes later. Alright, everybody's in it with the stabbing. Let's go. This is real London hours. 15? He has 11 AC, so we hit. Let's roll that rapier damage. Ooh, 8 damage. God damn. He only had 4 hit points left, so... Fucking... Gobby Lynn just fucking... I gotta add this to the game. You know how I be. So as this guy comes running back into the action, he's still 5 feet away from Gobby Lynn, and she just takes a step forward and grabs her base two-handed and just smashes him against the head with it. And he just tumbles to the ground. Alright, let's bring back this. Gobby told the DM she was doing non-lethal. It's fine, trust me. Exactly. It's just a non-lethal rapier stab. I happen to know Gobby Lynn's DM, and she's a pretty sexy lady, so I assume she's understanding. Alright, so the guard attacks me to get up to Captain Sharpsmile. I smashed at his face and his snaggly teeth with my bass guitar. He tumbles onto the dock. His sea legs don't stop him from being knocked prone, from getting his ass whooped by a 3.5 foot tall goblin. And Gobby stands triumphant. We dropped the goon! We're gooning here, everybody. We're gooning. We drop the goon to his knees. As we're about to deliver the final blow, the captain grabs you and holds you back. Then in the split second he buys... What? Then in the split second he buys? don't think that's how that sentence is supposed to start. But, then in the split second he buys. Oh, now I get it. So the split second he buys between you smashing in his head. It's just a very unclear sentence. Gooters 1, Sea Lake 0. Okay, so then in the split second he buys, the captain gives the belligerent guard a jumping uppercut in the jaw. When the man falls to the ground, the goblin bares his teeth in a grin as he kicks him in the ribs once, and then winds up for another go. Then he restrains himself. Nice work, he says. He says to you over the groans of the man on the dock, We'll make a pirate of you yet. As if nothing had happened, he turns back to the harbor master. The goblin captain bends down to his barely conscious attacker and removes a purse from the groaning man on the dock, checks its weight with a couple of tosses in his palm, and then throws it to the harbor master, who catches it surprisingly deftly. Consider this an installment, the goblin says. Checking the contents of the purse with a sneer, the harbor master nonetheless pockets the money. Not the first time I've heard that sharp smile. And it won't be the last time either. His grin catches the light on a gold tooth, and he winks up at you. Come on, I got some errands to run, and this might be our last time in port for a while. The crowd that had gathered to watch the fight begins to disperse. Several people step up over the poor man's prone form to do so. Business as usual resumes on the dock, and you assess the town. Once the dock ends and land begins, you see Brigand's Bay has a central plaza where it seems you could easily find most of the amenities. Streets sprawl out from the hub like a spider web, interconnected by dark alleys paved with neat cobblestones. I'm just cracking my back. Every now and then you see silhouettes up to shady dealings on what were once the lovely little verandas of public houses. But the wear and tear of a pirate clientele means all the buildings have seen better days. It's been too long since I've been to my home on dry land. The captain announces, I'm gonna go get a drink at the Siren Shanty. Opal? His first mate's head pops up. Captain? We leave at sundown. Tell the crew. See to your own errands and meet me back here before the sun touches the horizon. Aye, Captain. She calls out again with a casual little salute. She turns to speak to the crew members nearest to her, then takes her leave of them. She disembarks, eyeing you the whole time. Stooping to whisper something in the captain's ear, you catch her looking at you. The captain nods a couple times, shakes his head a couple times, and then reaches up to pat the elf on the shoulder reassuringly. She leaves with a final glance in your direction. As Opal walks away, Rain approaches with a furrowed brow. What, y'all just going to let this one walk about unsupervised? They gesture to you with their mechanical arm. After everything that happened, or after everything that happened on the way here? Of course, Captain, Sharp Smile says with a flourish. As trustworthy as anyone else aboard the Rapier Wit. Except maybe you, Rain. Make sure to watch your pockets. The last part's directed at you. Once you're done about town, the captain continues as Rain huffs. Meet me at the Siren Shanty at least half an hour before dusk. Especially if you know what's good for you. And you'd also do well to remember who's in charge here, Rain. Capitan, ça oui. Rain admits as they go, shooting you a look of utter contempt as they pass. Right. Oh, right. Be about your business. Make sure you don't do anything I wouldn't do. The captain calls, grin returning to his face. He heads off towards town, through the loud, bustling wharfside crowd. Slowly the crew begins to disperse. It occurs to you that now may be a good time to follow some of your new cohorts. You could learn something new about them. You see Rain and Ribcage split off in two different directions, but Opal has disappeared into the crowd like smoke. Do we wish to A. follow Rain, B. follow Ribcage, C. follow Opal, or D. wander about Brigand's Bay on our own? After all our not getting involved and not impeding them, how could they possibly trust us? Well, you know, A is Rain. Rain is the non-binary person. Opal is C. Alright, we have 2 votes for Rain and 1 for C. 2 for Rain and 1 for Opal. Any other votes out here you're hopeful? Yeah, Rain is non-binary. They're both non-binary and, like, literally plural, because they make duplicates of themselves. Alright, looks like Rain is gonna win. Rain seems intriguing, despite their utter disdain towards you. Who is this pirate to not trust you? You wait until they aren't watching you and then follow them at a distance. You lose them for a moment in the crowd, but after a few seconds searching, you spot the young sailor in the marketplace. Rain weaves through the throng of the bustling marketplace. The place is so packed with people, it's quite difficult to keep an eye on the sailor's slim figure as they thread through the crowd. Eventually, they break from the herd and head to a small rundown shop, the second-hand store. You're far enough away to be hidden, but close enough to get a good look at their arm. It's a series of tubes and conduits that's far too complex for you to understand. The metal framework of it seems to be built onto their shoulder and torso, with a leather strap across their body to help keep it in place. It has only 3 wide fingers and a thumb, but seems to operate perfectly well. Tiny brass cogs ticking around every time they clench a fist, which they do a lot. We can watch Rain from outside or go into the store. Which would you rather do? Watch them from outside or go into the store? How do we want to be a stalker for Rain? B, because Alistair needs closer supervision. I get it. I get it. All right. Sounds like a planarino here. So we're going to go follow them inside, as Alistair is a very bad boy. Inside, an older gnomish gentleman is serving behind the counter. His gray hair is held in a high ponytail, and he has a jeweler's loop pitched up to his left eye. He smiles when he sees you.
Ah, new face, welcome. I'll be with you in a moment. Please take a look around. I'm sure to have whatever you're looking for in stock. And remember, all sales are final under pain of death.
He says that last part so cheerfully that you almost don't register he said it at all. When you look at him, he's grinning so wide that he shows a gold molar at the back of his mouth. Rain glowers at you for a moment before returning to their transaction as if you aren't there. Arrayed on the counter is a collection of cogs, cables, and copper tubing. The same parts were half the price last time. I'm going to have to find a new supplier.
And no, afraid not. People keep trying to open another general store, but the gosh darn places keep mysteriously burning down. Strange, that. Real strange.
He picks some ashes out from under his fingernails with the fine point of a carving knife as he says this. With a huff, Rain tosses a little purse onto the counter and snatches up the spare parts without a look at you. They stomp out the door and back onto the bustle of the marketplace.
Excuse me, Rain,
shopkeeper calls just as the young sailor reaches the door.
Your captain ordered these some time back, even paid in full.
He holds out a package stamped with the name of the shop. Rain stalks back, snatches away the package, and then makes an even less graceful exit.
Well, what can I do for ya?
Asks the shopkeeper. See a list of wares, go to the second-hand store page on page 146. So we can shop, we just have to click to go back to 135. Alright, let's see what their shop, let's see what they got in this shop. We got a bunch of money. So 155. There's all some basic-ass adventure gear. Oh, get some potions. A bomb? 1d6 fire and 1d12 force damage. Interesting. 15 gold for potion of healing. That is really cheap. Yo, we get full-on Asian-ass weapons here. Fun. Leather armor. So they don't have studded leather here. Oh yeah, it's samurai time. Should we get like a little memorial wakizashi just because we're in Asia? I'm already in leather armor though. So there's no point in me buying, more leather armor. Short sword weeb edition. Yep. So we're gonna spend 10 gold to buy a wakizashi. Ooh. Wakizashi. Do we want to buy any bombs? Do we want to buy any bomb.com? Can we use it along with our rapier? Technically yes, but we're not very good at it. So we can dual wield, we just don't get to, we won't do as much damage. Alright, so we're gonna buy 2 bombs. We're gonna spend all of our money and just buy a shit ton of bombs. $2x bomb.coms. 1d6 fire, 1d12 force. Just writing down some stats real quick. Ooh. 10-foot range, 5-foot AoE, bonus action to light view. Okay. So we spent all of our money, but we now have bombs. We have bombs and a weeb sword. I have a feeling the dice set will be useful. So we can play a D&D campaign during our D&D campaign. So, Gobulin sits down, gathers the mutineers together, and plays a game of Dungeons and Dragons where there are a whole bunch of cops, basically. No, Vaughn, you can use the rapier and short sword as a finesse weapon, but the problem is because I do not have 2-weapon fighting, I can't use I don't get to add my dexterity bonus to my short sword's damage. Weirdly, Rain's character is a hot short stack goblin. I'm sure there's no deeper meaning. Exactly. Alright, we spent all of our money. So, alright guys, we bought some bombs, we got a weeb sword. Do we wish to go keep on exploring Brigand's Bay or go meet Randy at the Siren Shanty? Which would you rather do? Continue exploring or go hang out with Randy? Alright, all the votes are for A, so we're going to keep exploring Booty Bay. The town is sprawling, but rough maps of the place have been carved in the walls, seemingly at random. It doesn't seem too difficult to navigate as a pirate drunkenly slams into the wall next to you before vomiting loudly. It seems it would make sense for it to be a simple map that those imbibing could easily use to get around. There are opportunities galore in Brigand's Bay if you want to make yourself some coin. Alternatively, we go the same direction of Ribcage or try to find Opal. We already went shopping. We already talked to Rain. Okay, then we go talk to Randy. So, Do we want to try doing some side hustle work? Or do we want to go looking for ribcage or opal? Side hustle, ribcage, or opal. A, B, C. Vaughn votes for opal. Side hustle, ribcage, or opal. Those are your three options. We have one vote for opal. Two votes for opal. Alright, looks like we're gonna go help out opal. Oh, on the same page. As you head through the town, you find that you've gotten a bit lost. You're about to try to find a map crudely scraped into a wall when you hear your name being called. Opal waves at you from across the street and gestures you over. How are you finding the town? You tell her your honest answer and she grins, rows of perfect teeth shining like pearls between her full lips. Oh. Well, it takes some getting used to. Come on, if you're going to find the captain, I'm heading there myself. Just gotta pop into the post office first. She's very light on her feet, easily sidestepping the brawling pirates that seem to appear every other street, taking any potential pickpockets away from her purse. She is singularly focused on her path and keeps you close. You follow her to a rather run-down building with the words, Post Office, and a crudely drawn envelope splattered across its sign in red. You hope that it's been written with paint. She beckons us to follow her inside. Let's try for the Rain Opal Saphira harem ending. You accompany the first maid into the apparent post office. She gives you a little explanation as she steps inside. Well, most of us have people we need to send things to, and we're not usually welcomed at proper post offices. This is the best we have here. She goes up to a bored-looking halfling behind a counter and holds out a small parcel. You can hear it jingling slightly.
Ah, same as usual, Opal.
Thank you, Jeffrey. The halfling scribbles something on the brown paper of Opal's package and shoves it into a bag. She pays him a very hefty-looking fee. Plus tip. Make sure it gets there all right.
Of course.
And she hesitates a little if she does not want to ask the next question. Have I had anything back? He shakes his head.
No, sorry, love.
Opal forces a smile. Oh well, let's go then. To ask Opal about her parcel, we can make a persuasion check. We're gonna pry. Pry. Oh Lord, we prying. With a 23, we pried her open. Those legs were gaped once we were done.
So, Opal, what's with the package? You seem a little brought down.
She sighs. Money for my family. I'm the one who has to make sure the little ones have enough to eat. Gods know my mum isn't going to do it. A flash of anger crosses her face, but it's only for a moment. It's tough being the eldest. Always gotta look out for the next big score. Have to when you know there's children at home relying on you. You offer some words of sympathy. She hesitates before reaching out and squeezing your hand in thanks. You think she might be about to say something else, but she regains her composure and smiles.
I get it, Opal. You know, we all gotta try and make a little coin in this world, and we all got our different ways. There was this time I defeated the Jabbersquawky, and you may have heard of it. It's kind of a big deal story on the mainland, but it was quite a struggle. But the things you do to get a place to stay for the night, if you catch my drift.
Families, eh? Well, doesn't matter. I've got other things to do in town. The pub you're looking for is just across the street, by the way. See you around, mate. She heads off without another word, gait light and easy, as if nothing was ever on her mind at all. Bimbo hours. Now we have our bearings. So now we can try and go track down Ribcage, get a side quest, or we can go meet the captain. Which would you rather do? Still in favor of getting money so we can buy our dice set for D&D. Alright, so we're gonna go get some cash money. There are certainly many ways you could try and make money in a town such as this. Depends if you want to do it morally or not so morally. In a pirate town, it feels like anything is up for grabs, as if on cue, you see a street urchin stab someone in the thigh before unhooking their coin purse and disappearing into the crowd with a giggle. If we wish to pickpocket people, we wish to busk, or to search out a back alley dice game. Which would you rather do? Pickpocket, panhandle, or gamble? We are well suited to busking. We are literally a bard. So, do we wish to, perform on the street? Do we wish to pickpocket or gamble? So, A, pickpocket, B, busk, C, gamble. Vote in chat. Vote in chat. Vote in chat. Alright, we got some for busking. Alright. There's plenty of hustle and bustle going on, and the pirates seem like they'd enjoy a good sing-along. You find a particularly inviting street corner, clear away some of the garbage that has gathered there, and begin your performance. Roll a performance check. If I have an instrument with me, I roll with advantage. Well, you know, our girl is packing with her guitar. Let's roll this with advantage. Oh, dog. That is a 24, baby. Our girl is fucking jamming. She's doing her full Santana of listening to this guitar gently weep. You begin to perform a few shanties that you've picked up your time at sea. The ones sung on the Sundancer were tame. The ones sung on the Rapier Wit far bawdier. It seems that it's the second lot of songs that really draws you a crowd. Before long, all sorts of people have gathered round you cheering and hollering along, and as you wind down your performance, people burst into applause and throw well-earned money at you. Some of it appears to be covered in blood, but you're sure that it will spend just as well. So we can roll 1d12 and add that many to our inventory. I'm gonna say, because we beat the DC by 10 or more, we're gonna get 2d12 out of this. I think that's pretty fair. Wow, we made 17 gold off of that. We made a heaping helping of 17 gold. Yeah, baby! So as Gobby Lynn starts playing her songs, and she goes, they say I like big butts, and I cannot lie. You other gobbos can't deny. When a goblin walks in with a nitty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Da-da-da-da. And she starts just jamming out on her guitar. And she goes, I don't want no short dick man. I don't want no short dick man. I must increase my bust. And other such such memorable tunes. What was the other? I'm trying to remember other songs involving like sex off the top of my mind that are more explicit. Hey, you're crazy bitch, but you fuck so good, I'm on top of it. Yeah, when I'm going down on you. I think it's Buck Cherry does that song. All right, so we got our money. Do we want to keep hustling, or do we want to head to go beat the captain? Do we want to try pickpocketing or gambling, or are we just gonna head to the captain? Do we have dice? We probably could have dice. Let me. 1 second. So we're on. Can we loop rewards for infinite money? Technically, yes, but we're not going to because that would be dumb. Alright, so. On the score. Or let's see how much those dice are for Master Fail. 1 silver piece. We easily. You know what we could do? We could literally use that single silver piece that fucking Saphira gave us last time. So we now have a dice set for you, Master Fail. It's all coming together, Vaughn. Could we have loaded dice? That wasn't an option, tragically. Kaylin! Welcome, welcome, Raiders! How is your art stream? Welcome, welcome, everyone. My name's Obsidia. I am a death knight. What is that floating behind my head? It is a bone halo made of the spines of my enemies and those I've hugged a little too tightly. Welcome, welcome. We're currently doing our solo D&D adventure where we're Gobulin Bernadette, the Goblin Bard, with her bass guitar. We just got done. We're at a Japanese pirate town. I just got done jamming out about sex songs, and now we're deciding what to do next. Welcome, welcome! Welcome back to streaming. Thank you, Kaylin. I'm happy to be streaming again this week. It's good to be back. Hello, Lost Me Biscuit. I hope you find that biscuit. Very pog, very swag. So, we're gonna roll some dice now. It doesn't take long before we find a game of chance where we can bet our hard-earned money. In the shade of an alley, a group of pirates have gathered to play some intense dice games. They watch with frazzled concentration as their peers throw handfuls of six-sided dice, cheering or cursing depending on the results. Oh, by the way, Kaylin, we met a very hot, samurai sea elf woman named Opal. She is peak waifu. You approach and express an interest in joining. A pirate missing several of his front teeth grins at you. 10 gold to enter, mate. We're playing ship captain and crew. Remove 10 gold from our inventory. We have 13 currently on us after buying a bunch of explosives. The rules of this game are as follows. You'll be playing for yourself and your opponent. Each have 3 rolls per go. Roll 5d6. I think this is pirate dice. Roll 5d6, aiming to get a crew, a captain, and a ship. If you roll any of these, set those dice aside. However, they need to be rolled in order 4, 5, and then 6. When you have a crew, a captain, and a ship, you may roll the 2 leftover dice to see the value of your cargo. Keep taking turns until one player has succeeded in getting all of these dice and cargo, or if you match the highest cargo measure, the winner. I already lost track of how this game works. Okay, so roll 5d6. So we're just do this step by step. We're gonna roll 5d6. We have to roll this in order. Okay, so roll 5d6. We have a 6, and so we have a ship currently. however they need. So wait, so you don't set them aside because you have to get a 4, then you have 5, then a 6. Oh my goddamn, this dice game is confusing me. So does it not matter then that we got a 6? I guess we'll see what the other person rolls. So the other pirate gets a 6, a 4. So they have a 4 right now. 4 for pirate. Because I guess the 6 is in the wrong order. So they currently have one thing, while I have nothing. So then I have to roll again. Oh, I got a 4 and a 5. So now the pirate rolls 46 and is trying to get a 5 and a 6 in order. They've got a 5. 4 and 5 for pirate. Now I roll 3d6 and I'm trying to get a 6. Nope. He's rolling 3d6 and trying to get a 6. Oh, he got a 6. So the pirate now has his full, like, thingy. So, okay, so when you have a crew, a captain, a ship, you may roll the 2 leftover dice to see the value of your cargo. Okay, I think I get it. So now I roll 3d6. I get a 6 and a 1. 4, 5, 6, and 1. And... or maybe I don't roll again. I don't know. Alright, so... I don't know, come up with the players trying their best to avoid it. Yeah, this minigame is surely a minigame. So let's roll to see what the cargo of our opponent is. God damn it, he got a 6 and a 5. Fuck. So he has a cargo of 11. Now we roll... and we got a cargo of 8, so he beat us. Oh, we can cheat! Let's fucking cheat. We're cheating, baby. Who in chat wants to cheat? Because otherwise we're gonna lose currently. We have to get a 17. We have a +4 to our roll, and we're not proficient in it. Hey, Oliver. Yeah, we're rolling a cheat. No, we got a 6. Oh man, we rolled a nat 2. You hate to see it. We failed to cheat. Oh, we don't have any spell slots. Otherwise, we could charm him to get out of the fact that we were cheating. God damn it. Alright, well, we lost. The pirates grab your wrist as you go to try and fudge the dice, twisting your hand back painfully. A surge of agony runs all the way up your arm and into your shoulder. You can tell that he's used to cheats and knows how to deal with them. If you're trying to cheat, at least do it well enough so we don't see it. Now play properly. His breath reeks of old fish and questionable rum. We take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. We're not doing so well. We've taken 8 of our... we're at half health right now because of our fight with the Harbor Master. We can't replay VOD because we don't have any money. We spent 10 gold to play this, and that leaves us only with 3 gold left. Because we bought those damn bombs. We could have wasted all of our money gambling, but no. Or we have 7 gold left, sorry. But we bought those damn bombs. However, I guess we could wager a bomb if you want. There does not appear to be an option if it drops you to 0. I imagine you're just unconscious for a bit. They probably mug you. Yeah, let's just peace out. These guys suck. Oh, gambling is a harsh mistress. All right, so we're done gambling. I'd say we move on with our lives. We can't cheat. We lost. Gamba. The only thing left to do is to pickpocket people, which we're not terribly good at. You guys want to try pickpocketing, or do you want to peace out? Sure, let's get some more bludgeoning damage in. So we gotta vote for pickpocketing. What's your say, Vaughn? Or anybody else, you're free to vote in chat. The whole purpose of this is you guys vote in chat. So should we pickpocket or leave? I'll give you... Alright, we're gonna go pickpocketing. See how this goes. Well, in a pirate town, there's a lot of ill-gotten gold to be found. Pockets are practically overflowing with it. You'd be a fool not to indulge. In fact, you can practically feel the captain slapping you on the shoulder and encouraging you to go wild. When in Brigand's Bay, do as the buccaneers do. Ooh! So we can make a sleight of hand check. However, if we give a gold coin to our miser's luck, the magic item that lets us detect people's money nearby, we get advantage. I say we spend the gold coin to get the advantage on the roll, especially since we're not proficient. So let's roll it with advantage on our pickpocketing check. The advantage didn't help. We rolled a 16 and a 5, but we got a 16, which is good. We got between a 16 and 20, so that's a good result. You're pretty light-fingered. It's easy to reach into pockets when heads are turned the other way. Some of these fools have more gold than they know what to do with, which seems rather dangerous in a pirate town. Roll 2d10 and add that to your gold. Hell yeah. 12 gold! If only we could gamble again. We're only allowed to gamble once. So, we got a nice 18 gold now. So we're literally 1 gold above what we were when we started gambling. Actually, I guess technically because we spent a gold on Miser's luck. Yeah, we're 1 gold above, yeah. And we have a dice set for one silver. My bad. Alright, so we got our money out of the way. Now we can return to town. Alright, do we want to go after Ribcage or go see the captain? With that, we will have exhausted all the things to do in Brigand's Bay. Was there a reason we needed to see Ribcage earlier? No, we just want to go check out his backstory, basically. It's, you just learn about the different people. That's kind of what you do. I just want to see something. I want to show Kayla the art of Samurai Elf. But that's not an option, apparently. I don't remember what number she was, she was at. Alright, Master Bale has had enough of this town. Let me see if I can find Samurai Elf. Actually, I know where I can show you Samurai Elf. I figured it out. Kaylin. 1 second. Loop. Go. Here. The Samurai Elf is this girl. The blue-haired one. Okay, so we're gonna go see Ribcage. Well, yeah, that's our trusty samurai elf. That's Rain, the non-binary floater. That's Lady Saphira. It's Ribcage. It's our shitty captain. It's the former captain. The coin has spoken. We must see Ribcage. The world is all Ribcage now. Okay, let's go find Ribcage. Bloop, bloop. It's not difficult to keep an eye on Ribcage, even amongst some of the larger Kith races, of which there are a handful of each milling around. He sticks out like a sore thumb. He's easily the tallest person in this town. Even the meanest, gruffest of pirates ducks away when they see him coming, clearly not wanting to risk his wrath just by being in his way. Alright, have a good swim, Thomas. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for coming by. Ribcage moves through the crowd like a frigate sailing among rowboats. He cuts a swath through the denizens of Brigand's Bay to make a beeline for the depths of the darkest alleys. As you follow after him, you see why. He's heading to what is signposted as the Fighting Pit. As you get closer, you can see it is a literal pit dug into the ground, probably 10 feet deep and caked with dry blood. A crowd is formed around its perimeter and is cheering loudly as two warriors try to hack each other to pieces in the bottom. Ribcage approaches what seems to be the organizer and has a quick chat. Ribcage's side consists of a quick grunt, followed by a series of shouts from the organizer. The bugbear drops into the pit as the unconscious body of the loser is dragged away. The pirate he's facing looks absolutely terrified. Ribcage has produced a silver hairbrush from somewhere and is brushing his fur from head to toe, maintaining steely eye contact with his opponent the whole time. Bets, make your bets for Ribcage of the Rapier Wit versus Boris the Bloodthirsty. You look over to the man handling the money for the bets. If you wish to make a bet, watch the match, or wish to sign up to fight afterwards. Do we want to gamble, everybody? Are we still gambling? Is that the name of the game? Master failed trying to get us killed. We only have half our health and no spell slots. So we have one vote for gambling and one vote for fighting. Any other votes? Or are we gonna do gamba? So we got another vote for gambling. Alright. It seems that overall the people wish to gamble. Alright, you head over to the man taking the bets and ask what the odds are. Fortune is favor of the bugbear, no surprise, but Boris might do it. You know, he's the only way you'll win any money. The bet is 10 gold. So what do you say? If you don't want to bet, just watch the match instead. Go. Move 10 gold from your inventory, place a bet on Ribcage to win, or place a bet on Boris the Bloodthirsty to win. So, we can still watch. It doesn't sound like we'll make any money necessarily if Ribcage wins and we bet on him. We can win money on Boris, I guess. So which would you rather do? Not gamble, get very low stakes on Ribcage, or possibly more money if somehow Boris wins? The option is yours. A, B, or C. A is we just watch, B is we bet Ribcage, C is we bet Boris. Boros is besto. 2 votes for just watching, 1 vote for Boris, and 1 vote for oh, we have 2 for Boris, 2 for Boris, and 2 for watching. Whoever votes next is the tiebreaker. Who wishes to be the tiebreaker? Do you wish to leave it up to fate where I roll a d4? Oh, Kalen with the Boros. Alright, we're gonna... It seems like it's gonna be... We're betting on Boris the Bloodthirsty. Sorry, you watchers. No cuck chair hours in this stream. You put your money on your new crewmate to lose. Roll a d20. If you get... Oh, man, it's an 18 or higher for fucking Boris to win. Oh! Alright, chat. Do you believe in the heart of the cards? We got an 18. We have to get an 18 or higher on this. Nat 20! What? Everything's coming up, Cydia, baby. Fuck you, ribcage. Nat 20. Gotta get a nat 20. Boros, big dick Boros winning up in here. 158. With bated breath, you watch the fight play out. Ribcage is vicious, but Boris is fast, and the tide of the battle soon turns in his favor. He forces the bugbear to his knees, and a cheer rings out as he wins. The man handing the bet seems flabbergasted. Well, I'll be damned, he actually did it. Here's your winnings. 50 gold! 99% of gamblers quit before they make it big. That's what this stream is all about. They said they had us when we were cheating at the dice game. They said we couldn't handle gambling on a loser. But look at us now. We pickpocketed, we bust, and now we win it big because we kept on gambling. There was no downside to continuously gambling away our last gold. Hell yeah. Alright, so we gain a net total of 40 gold from that, bringing us to 58. Everything's coming up, Gobby. Time to buy 5,000 more dice sets. Now you're thinking like a winner. You know, special shout out to Oliver, Boris the Bloodthirsty's #1 fan. You know, thank you, Oliver. You know, you're encouraged to draw fan art of a signed autograph from Boris the Bloodthirsty, preferably written in blood, saying to my favorite archmage. Time to buy 5,000 more dice. Is anyone voting with me here? No one's voting with you, Mass confirmed. We're gonna go to the Siren Shanty now. We've done all there is to do in town. The Siren Shanty is heaving with life, raucous and wild. The first thing that happens is a pirate is thrown out the window. Glass shards scattering across the pavement and creating a terrible crash. The ejected pirate grumbles, dusts himself down, and heads back in. You follow. It's loud in the pub. There's a band playing music in the corner, dodging bottles thrown in irritation or appreciation. Pirates crowded around tables, gamble on cards, and make merry from bottles poured into pewter tankards. In the corner, a group of people are playing a complicated-looking game with sheets of paper and dice. It's D&D. They're playing D&D. A ginger-haired woman rolls an icosahedron. I have to Google that. That sounds like an entirely made-up real dice. It's a D20. It's a fucking D20. So this woman's rolling a D20. And the table cheers when it comes up as a 20. It all seems a bit complicated to you. Luckily, you soon spot Randy at the bar in conversation with the barkeep. The captain and the bartender are chatting happily, but you can see a new cut across his cheekbone and a bloody knife in her hand. Seems like they had a bit of an altercation before catching up. Ah, there you are, calls out to you. Thought the babe might have swallowed you up. Glad to see you're still in one piece. Emmy, a drink for our friend. The barmaid raises her eyes to you. She's a burly dwarf with a beautiful copper-colored beard, plaited into intricate braids. Sea glass beads are run through it to give it an eye-catching sparkle. Oh, and who's this poor soul, Randy? A new member, for now anyway. Help us make a ransom tonight. Oh, gods, be careful. Randy's a bit fast and loose when it comes to plans. Emmy sighs. He clutches at his heart, playful again. You wound me, Emmy. And then to you. Besides, that's the old me. I've grown into a goblin who believes. A glass of ale is passed you, offered along with a hand from the bartender. Emmy Sunderhammer, owner and proprietor of the Siren Shanty. Pleasure. You shake her hand and are pleasantly surprised to find that the ale isn't watered down. Randy leaves you to get acquainted and finds himself a seat at a nearby table. It just became vacant due to the unfortunate stabbing. To talk to Emmy, do A, or to forego conversation and go meet up with Randy, do B. So which should we do? Talk to Emmy or talk to Randy? Vote in chat. What would you like to do? Do you want to talk to the dwarf or see Randy instead? A or B, those choices you see. Thank you for the lurk, Master Phil. I appreciate you hanging out. Do we wish to talk to the dwarf or talk to Randy? This will be our last vote of the day. I'm going to call it after that since my voice is getting a little tired from talking continuously, but I like to know where we're gonna leave off on. So vote A or B. A, we hang out with the dwarf. B, we will go talk to Randy. Okay. We got one vote for B. Any other votes? Any other votes that I will see? We got a few more seconds that I give you. Ba-da-da-da. Alright, we're gonna go talk to Randy, and that is where we're gonna leave it here today at 183. Oh, Cygnus sneaks in with an A at the very end. I'm sorry, Cygnus. I already selected the other option. But I appreciate you voting. Alright, I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up here for the day. Bloop. Alright, everybody, I hope you had fun today, as we continued our D&D solo adventure. We spent our session gambling. We beat up a guard after using all of our spell slots and getting taken to half health. And I hope you all were having fun and enjoying our adventure. You love that darn gobbo? Oh, I got hiccups again. Alrighty, if you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. Give me a sub over on YouTube, where I have the VODs of all of my streams and every session of this little campaign. You can also follow me on Blue Sky, and you can join. I gotta change that notice to my Blue Sky, which should be in my actual Twitch thing, even if it's not in the announcement. And you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people, and I hope you enjoyed spending your afternoon with me nearly as much as I enjoyed spending it with you. And never forget the most important part, which is the world is better having you in it. That'll be it for our streams for the week. Tomorrow I'm going to get electrolysis done, so I won't be doing anything. We might, next week try and do a Thursday stream as well, since I don't have a job right now, so I really have nothing but time to stream, where we might do some reading. Like, I might be Obsidian story time if you're so inclined. So we'll see how that goes. It's all tentative right now, but should be fun. So that'll be it for the week for adventures for us. Let's go raid a certain peculiar little rabbit. If you are a follower, please copy down the hugs, or call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the knight's message. We're gonna go raid Bees Nuts. Peculiar little rabbit. Go send her some love. Alrighty, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful night. And thank you guys for hanging out. Bye.